Charity Focus on E-Radio.
It's time for E-Radio Charity Focus, and just last week I said Carl from the Garden Route Food Pantry always gives us the good news, but this week, unfortunately, not so good. Carl, good afternoon. How's it going?
Good afternoon to you, and yeah, it's as you say, it's actually a bit strange for me not to always be sharing good news, but you know what, all things considered, we are fine, we are doing all right, and we are coping with the new challenge.
Yeah, just tell us quickly what happened.
Yeah, it's one of those sad situations. You know, this past weekend, being a little bit of a long weekend, my wife and I decided we're just going to take a short break and go down to Sedgefield for a night. And I literally arrived there, and about half an hour later, I get a call from our security company to say they are at our premises in George and there's smoke billowing out of the building.
Oof.
So, of course, you know, you get that cold shiver that goes down your spine, and you wonder, you know, what's... So we were back in the car racing back to George, only to get there and find fire brigade and the works parked outside. Yeah, we had a fire. So unfortunately, it seems, well, it's been investigated, and it seemed it emanated from an electrical fault of some sort in the admin offices. The sad thing is that we have lost the admin offices. People that see us on Facebook will see it's absolutely been burnt to literally just ash. I mean, I'm amazed how desks and cupboards and even equipment, printers, everything can be reduced to such rubble. So the admin offices were completely burnt out. But the good news is that our kitchen, which holds our sort of expensive equipment, other than being covered in smoke and soot, is untouched. And the majority, I would say easily 90% of the food is also fine. It was also packaged in boxes and packets, and it's just a matter of cleaning. So the food, which is probably most critical to me, is okay. So it's one hang of a mess. A fire is something special, you know. I mean, although it was quite a significant fire and the building itself is going to have quite a lot of work done to it to try and get it back to normal, it's the amount of heat that passed through that building was quite phenomenal. I mean, all the light fittings and everything, especially on the roof structure, they have to take the entire roof off and redo the entire roof. The sheets are burnt. So yeah, it was it's been an interesting few days, to say the least.
Yeah, but you still sound like you're still looking at the bright side, you know, and that's how I know you. Yeah. You're always looking for a positive.
Definitely. No, most definitely. You know, I've come to realize, and maybe it's just age and time that does that to one, but I've come to realize that no matter what happens, there is always a reason for it. And however you choose to believe that to be, there really is. It's just, I've had so many, let's call them hiccups in my life, and at the time, you know, you think, what now? How am I going to survive? How am I going to get through that, from retrenchments to everything? And yet something happens, you know, something comes out of it, and then you realize that was probably the best thing that could have happened. I mean, already, just since the fire, the owners of the building have been absolutely fantastic, and there's a second warehouse that they own pretty much across the street from our one, which they've now offered to us because we need to move out. So they've offered it to us. It's more than double the size, and at almost the same rent, because they just want to help. So the good news is that we are moving permanently, but into a much bigger facility with a much more just prospect of what we can do.
Yeah, you see, there's already good coming from it.
Precisely.
Fantastic.
So the last couple of days we've been cleaning, we've been getting all the soot and the dust and everything off everything, and just moving across the road. It's going to take us a couple of weeks to sort of get back onto our feet, but I think we're going to be standing a few steps higher than we were once that happens. So I'm obviously devastated about the fire and the losses that we've suffered, but I'm excited for the future and what it's going to hold.
Yes, exactly. But listen, I saw some lovely donations already coming in for your admin side. So is there anything specific that you still need, Carl?
People are absolutely amazing. You know, because the admin office is burned down, we lost our desks, our chairs, our printers,
Computers.
laptop. There was toolbox and first aid kits, and obviously lots of files and stationery and paper. I mean, anything you can imagine that would go into an admin office is absolutely destroyed.
Sure.
Even we had quite a lot of extra branded shirts and jackets that we had made for us, and all of those things are gone, but they're gone. And since I put it out onto our social media, we've had such great response. I mean, from people that have offered us replacement desks, chairs. We've even got a laptop coming from somebody in Joburg that's sending it down.
Fantastic.
We still, there's still a lot we need. I mean, our stationery is unbelievably expensive. I mean, when you look at pens and papers and rulers and staplers and punches and files and things like that. So, we still need to do all of that. We did have, maybe there's people out there that are listening that are able to help us with some of the smaller items, even like a toolbox. I mean, I'm sitting around at the moment moving, and I've got to take a desk apart to move it, and I realize I don't even have a screwdriver to take the screws out, because our toolbox and equipment was gone. Our medical kit was gone. And what we're also going to need, and this is probably a bit more difficult for people, depending on how they're able to help, but the new facility we have, as I say, is much bigger, but it's going to need a bit of work. For example, the floors are quite industrial. So for our kitchen facility, we need to repaint the floors, possibly the walls as well, because they just need to be fresh. And obviously, from a health point of view, we need to have the right kind of paint. Yeah. So we need to do that, and we need to do just things here and there to make it suitable. So, and those kinds of things. I mean, unless there's a paint company out there that could help us with that, but money is always king, so if people are able to help us just with a financial donation, we've already received, I think it's around 11,000 Rand at this stage that people have donated, which is really phenomenal. Because sadly, one of the things that burnt was, we actually had 3 cash boxes, one which belongs to the food pantry, and another 2 that actually belong to our Lions Club, because we're involved with the Lions as well. So there was about 6,000 or 7,000 Rand that just in cash that burnt.
No.
So if people are able to help us, unfortunately, sitting where I am right now, I don't even have access to our banking details, but it is on our Facebook page. Okay. If people are able to help us with something like that.
So what do we search for on Facebook? Just Garden Route Food Pantry.
That's it. It's Garden Route Food Pantry, or it's www.facebook.com/groups/Garden Route Food Pantry. Easiest is just search for Garden Route Food Pantry.
Yeah, I think that's probably your best bet. But yes, well done on getting those great donations already. Well done to all the people. Well done on your great mindset and the way you handle it. And then I also want to say to you, I said it to somebody the other day, isn't life just one big game of snakes and ladders? You're up there at one stage, roll the dice, and you're down way at the bottom and have to start over again. It's just like that, hey? Isn't it?
I love that. I love that analogy. I'm going to use that. People keep saying to me, how are you doing? Are you okay? And I actually love that analogy. I'm going to use that.
Yes.
We're on the same board. We just got a couple of rows, but we'll be back soon.
Fantastic. Carl, thank you so much. Great catching up with you again, and all the best. And to all our listeners, if you can help, please get in touch with Carl. Look up the Garden Route Food Pantry on Facebook. Carl, have a great afternoon.
Awesome. You too. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Charity Focus on E-Radio.